Welcome to the Ben Gregersen Show. There's a lot going on right now in the country, a lot of different issues to discuss. Over the 4th of July weekend, Egypt, the Egyptian people and the Egyptian military threw out their president or their leader. And they threw him out because he is a leader and he's from the Muslim Brotherhood, which is a terrorist organization. Now, if any of you don't know how this leader from the Muslim Brotherhood became president, he became the leader in Egypt because the Obama administration helped him become the leader of Egypt. See, the Obama administration helped bring down the old leader of Egypt, and the old leader of Egypt was an ally of the United States, and he was an ally of Israel. But when the Obama administration helped throw out the old leader in Egypt, they helped bring this terrorist to power in Egypt. And the Obama administration was giving this guy from the Muslim Brotherhood, they were giving him weapons and helping them and funding them and giving them all kinds of money. But what happened is this leader in Egypt was stepping on the Constitution of Egypt, and he was pretty much dismantling the courts in Egypt. And the Egyptian people got mad, and the Egyptian military stepped in and kicked this guy out of power. Now, this is a massive failure for the Obama administration because they befriended this new leader in Egypt, and they put all their eggs, in his hat, so to speak. It was a big deal, and I think what's disturbing about it the most, though, is that the new leader in Egypt was part of the Muslim Brotherhood. And the Muslim Brotherhood is a terrorist organization. Osama bin Laden was part of the Muslim Brotherhood. And Obama supported the Muslim Brotherhood. He supported terrorists. He funded terrorists. And all I got to say about that is, aren't terrorists our enemy? The Constitution says that it is treason to aid and support our enemy. And the truth is that Obama helped bring our enemy to power in Egypt. And boy, our enemy sure did a lot to screw up Egypt. What a mess did he leave. And Obama should be ashamed that he befriended our enemies and helped them come to power. This Muslim Brotherhood is no friend of Israel. They want to wipe Israel off the map. So why is Barack Obama supporting the Muslim Brotherhood? I have no idea. But I have to say that I applaud Egypt for throwing the Muslim Brotherhood out of power. It was the right choice, and it was the right choice for their country. I thank God that the Muslim Brotherhood is not in power anymore. One thing I'll bring up too is over the 4th of July weekend, something else interesting happened. There was a Saudi national. He's a terrorist, and he's on our terrorist watch list. And he was invited by the president to attend his 4th of July party. Yes, a terrorist was at the president's 4th of July party. Now, what the heck was he doing there? This isn't the first time that the president has befriended terrorists. We all remember William Ayers. Barack Obama started his political career in William Ayers' home. William Ayers was a terrorist. He bombed the Pentagon, and he bombed police stations, and he killed lots of people. William Ayers was part of the Weather Underground, which was a terrorist organization in the 60s. So Barack Obama, he's got, I don't know why, but he's got a history of being friends with shady people, and that includes terrorists, like this guy in Egypt from the Muslim Brotherhood that he's friends with, and William Ayers, and apparently the Saudi national who is a terrorist, and apparently Barack Obama is friends with him, or there's some sort of relationship sparking there, because he was invited to the president's 4th of July party at the White House. And I'll tell you one thing about this Saudi national. He was listed on the CIA's watch list as with a ranking as one of the most dangerous terrorists. See, the CIA has kind of a ranking system that kind of, I guess it kind of ranks the danger level of different terrorists and how much of a threat they are. And this Saudi national was at the top of the list. He had the highest rank. And so he was a very dangerous man, and here he is hanging out at the White House, hanging out with our president during the 4th of July. What do you guys think of that? I'm going to bring up our phone call so you guys could call in and discuss this issue of the Saudi national and what happened in Egypt. I'm very happy that the Egyptian people have thrown out the Muslim Brotherhood in their country. Obama should have never supported the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt. Barack Obama befriended our enemies in Egypt, and the Egyptian people were smart enough to kick that Muslim Brotherhood out of power. And I think it's interesting because I actually saw a picture on the internet of Egyptian protesters that were holding signs saying that our president supported terrorism. And the reason they were holding those signs is because our president supported their leader in Egypt, who was a member of the Muslim Brotherhood and a supporter of terrorism. So, lots of shady stuff going on. Our president, he's attracted to shady people. He likes hanging out with shady people. He even had a preacher that, for 20 years, that preached anti-American literature and all kinds of stuff in his church, and Obama attended that church for 20 years. Obama was also involved in an illegal land deal when he bought his house with a man named Tony Rezko, who now sits in prison. So the president has a long history of being friends with shady people, and it reflects badly on your character when you associate yourself with people like that. I'm going to switch topics here. I wanted to discuss executive orders. Barack Obama has been illegally using executive orders. He's been legislating law from the executive branch. Now, can the president make laws? No. The Constitution clearly states that the president is part of the executive branch. The president is not part of the legislative branch. The legislative branch makes laws, not the executive branch. The president has signed gun control laws through executive orders. He also has done amnesty through executive orders. How many of you out there remember the DREAM Act? The DREAM Act was an amnesty bill that Congress said no to. They just flat out said no. So what happened? The president came out during last year's election and signed an executive order that pretty much made the DREAM Act become law. See, the president can't write laws, and executive orders cannot be used to overthrow Congress's decision. You know, president did not like that Congress said no to the DREAM Act, so the president was pretty much like, forget Congress. I'm going to legislate law from the executive branch. And I'm telling you tonight that is unconstitutional. Executive orders are not supposed to be used that way. Executive orders are not laws, all right? An executive order is an executive decision that only influences the executive branch. It does not influence the entire country as a whole. It's pretty much, say something's broken in the executive branch, and the president's like, we got to fix this problem within the executive branch. So I sign this executive order to fix the problems that are going on in this particular department in the executive branch. Executive orders are only supposed to be within the executive branch, and they're only temporary. Executive orders are not permanent, and they're not laws. So the Barack Obama is abusing presidential power. Barack Obama is breaking the law by stepping on our Constitution, by misusing executive orders. Now, recently the president announced that he wanted to legislate cap and trade through an executive order. Now, Congress said no to President Obama's cap and trade back in 2009. And that was a Democrat Congress, mind you. See, Barack Obama's cap and trade law or idea was so radical that even the Democrats rejected it. But now President Obama says, well, I'm going to do it through executive orders. So here's another situation where the president is bypassing Congress in order to legislate executive orders from the executive branch. That's illegal. The president does not write laws, all right? The president cannot come out with his presidential decree and say, this is the law of the land. It's illegal. But you want to know something? That's what the president is doing. And he's done it many times. There's been a lot of presidential decrees, presidential laws executed through executive orders. That is certainly illegal on every level. And the reason the president is doing cap and trade through executive orders is because of the supposed threat of global warming. We've got to take care of this threat. In order to take care of global warming and to deal with it, I've got to step on the Constitution. I've got to tear the Constitution up so that I could fight global warming. Let's talk about global warming tonight because I must tell you something. Hello, welcome to the Ben Gregersen Show.
I'm calling about, I wanted to get your thoughts on the Egypt president that was replaced by the Muslim Brotherhood. I can't think of his name right now, but he was an ally to Israel and the United States both. And when he was replaced by the Muslim Brotherhood, we were really no longer in friendly territory. So the Brotherhood did not comply to the democratic government, and of course, after a few months, was kicked out. And that was the right thing to do. What is your thinking about that?
Well, it gets me mad that our president betrayed our ally like that. You know, sure, the former Egyptian president was not the greatest guy ever, but he was our ally and he helped us out during the Persian Gulf War and he supported Israel. But Obama helped kick that guy out of power.
Yeah.
And now we got, an enemy that came to power because Barack Obama did that. Barack Obama helped bring a terrorist to power in Egypt. Because that's what the Egyptian leader, the new one, was. He was a terrorist. He was part of the Muslim Brotherhood, which is a terrorist organization. Now, the Egyptian people, they protested the new leader, and the military rose up and kicked him out of power. Thank goodness.
Yeah, I'll say.
Thank goodness. And
what do you think about, was he the chance of losing the Suez Canal being, closed would be devastating to the whole world shipping. See, I haven't heard the latest on that, but boy, our world's sure spinning out of control and fast.
You mean the canal in Cuba?
So I'm thinking of the one that would be controlled by the Brotherhood, wouldn't it be? I might be mistaken on that, but, I probably get confused on this situation. I listen to all this news and, boy, trying to keep it all straight.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I do know about a canal that was in Cuba that Jimmy Carter pretty much gave up to the communists. So now that canal is under communist control.
That was, not the Suez, but the, Lawrence, what was the name of that other canal? The Panama Canal. Are
Panama
you
Canal.
one you're thinking about?
Yes.
Yeah, that's South America, though.
Awesome.
Yeah, there's another canal that's supposed to be in danger of being closed.
Huh. Well, it wouldn't surprise me. It's always a Democrat that's given our canals to our enemies.
Yeah, well, it's sure going to mess up world shipping if it gets closed. Well, I'll tell you what, I got to listen to the news a little bit closer and get these names right because...
Yeah.
But anyway, I know they've been talking about it the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, thanks for calling.
Yeah, you betcha.
Okay, have a good night.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye. Well, back to global warming. I talked about how global warming was a hoax, and I'll tell you why. We know by virtue of released emails from the University of East Anglia in the UK that the whole thing, the man-made global warming program, is a hoax. It's a political hoax. The man-made global warming story is a hoax because revealed scientist emails, one scientist to another, acknowledged how they left out data that contradicted their theory. They added data that wasn't true. The whole hockey stick that explains the medieval warming and so forth, none of it's real. It was all manufactured. It literally is a hoax. Climate change itself is already in the process of definitively proving that man-made global warming is a hoax. That is because natural climate cycles have already turned from warming to cooling. Global temperatures have already been declining for more than 10 years, and global temperatures will continue to decline for another 2 decades or more. I said here that hacked emails prove that global warming is a hoax. I have a whole bunch of those emails right here. I do not have time to read all of them. I wish I did, but I do wish to read one email from a man named Phil Jones. And if you don't know who Phil Jones is one of the top global warming scientists. I mean, he's way up there at the top, and he's respected by all the global warming believers. This is an email that he wrote to a fellow global warming scientist. He said, quote, "Once Tim's got a diagram here, we'll send that either later today or first thing tomorrow. I've just completed Mike's nature trick of adding in the real temps to each series for the last 20 years. For Keith to hide the decline. Mike's series got the annual land and marine values, while the other two got April, September for NH land and of 20N. The later two are real for 1999, while the estimate for 1999 for NH combined is plus 0.44 Celsius. The global estimate for 1999 with data through October is plus 0.35 Celsius for 1999. What's disturbing about this here is that he's basically saying that they've created tricks in order to hide the decline and heat. So you may not know this, but the Earth has been getting cooler. The last year that the Earth actually got warmer was 1998. So for more than a decade, the Earth has been cooling. We're in a cooling trend. And this global warming scientist here was saying we found a trick in order to hide that decline in global temperature. So here they are distorting data, climate data, in order to prove their case on global warming. And that in itself proves that global warming is a hoax. And there's a lot of other emails here. These emails, there's all kinds of stuff here where they are distorting climate data, and they are monkeying around with it in order to prove global warming, which is disturbing. But it definitely proves that global warming is a hoax. If any of you out there don't know much about global warming, basically the theory of global warming is that carbon dioxide going up into the atmosphere is causing the Earth to get warmer. Now, here's what I want to say about that. Because supposedly carbon dioxide is a bad thing. It's terrible. It's rot. Well, here's something I want to remind people of. In grade school, our grade school teachers actually teach us that carbon dioxide is good for the planet, that it's plant food. See, the trees and the grass, they feed on carbon dioxide, and then they produce oxygen. See, carbon dioxide is very important to the overall health of our planet. Then you get to high school and they start teaching you how terrible carbon dioxide is. Carbon dioxide is so terrible. There's nothing wrong with carbon dioxide, and it's not toxic. I think some people out there getting carbon dioxide confused with carbon monoxide. No, carbon dioxide is not carbon monoxide. Carbon dioxide is good for the planet. And there's something else I want to point out. Do you know how much carbon dioxide comes from humans? 0.1% of all the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere comes from humans. That's not even 1% of the carbon dioxide comes from humans. You know where the rest of that carbon dioxide comes from? It comes from the planet. It comes from animals. It comes from volcanoes, geysers, all kinds of stuff. The planet is naturally producing carbon dioxide. Do you know that when you breathe, you were breathing out carbon dioxide? So if you're a global warming believer, that means that you believe that the planet is being destroyed by virtue of your breathing. It's funny, and I highly doubt that less than 1% of carbon dioxide coming from humans could cause all these problems. And why is it so bad for humans to be producing carbon dioxide? Everything else on the planet is producing it. Are humans not part of the natural Earth? I'd say we are. There is a natural human element. We belong to this Earth just as much as the trees and the squirrels do. But these global warming people, they try to get kids and people in our country to feel guilty about living on this planet, because apparently they think that we are not natural, that humans are not naturally part of the Earth. But that's wrong. We have just as much of a right to produce carbon dioxide as the Earth does. We have just as much right to produce it as the volcanoes do and the squirrels do. Everything produces carbon dioxide. So there's nothing wrong with humans producing it. And like I said, carbon dioxide is good for the planet. I'll also say one thing here too that pretty much proves the global warming theory false. Through science, we've actually found out that carbon dioxide cannot go up into the atmosphere until after it warms. See, carbon dioxide cannot go up in the atmosphere until after it warms. What does that prove? It proves that the carbon dioxide is not causing the warming. See that? Because the theory of global warming says that the carbon dioxide is floating up there in the atmosphere, and that's causing the warming. But we know for a fact that carbon dioxide cannot rise into the atmosphere until after it warms. So carbon dioxide is not causing the warming. That proves that global warming is a hoax. These global warming people, they love to talk about the ice cap. They go, oh, the ice caps are melting. Well, that's nothing new. The ice caps have been melting since the Ice Age ended. Do you know why we have ice? Do you know why we have ice caps? We have ice caps because of the Ice Age. The Ice Age ended, so naturally the ice is melting. It's nothing new, and it's not a big deal. The Earth is just returning to the way it was before the Ice Age. It's funny, and these global warming people will tell you that if the ice caps melt, the ocean is going to rise 20 feet, and all these cities are going to be underwater, and people are going to die, and it's going to be an apocalypse. You want to know something? Science has proven that the ocean will only rise 5 inches if the ice caps melt. 5 inches, not 20 feet. 5 inches is not going to destroy cities. All right, folks? And if you think that, then you're silly. There is no real threat with any of this. And like I said, the Earth has been cooling for more than a decade. The Earth has been in a cooling trend since 1998. One other thing I'd like to... I'll point out something else about the ice caps. There are actually scientists out there that say that the ocean levels will decline if the ice caps melt completely. And you're probably asking, well, why is that? Well, the reason why that is, well, look at it this way. Have any of you ever filled a cup of water, filled it up, completely filled up a cup of water, and then taken an ice cube and stuck that ice cube in the cup of water? What happens? The water overflows. All right? So, by virtue of that ice cap sitting in the middle of the ocean, it's actually causing the ocean levels to rise.